So here we go. MJ from MJ from MJ from MJ from MJ from MJ. Okay. Writes a big long post here. I encourage you all to go read it. We got clips though. Pollock and Thurston, I guess, admit or reveal that they are not welcome at WWE pressers, and they wouldn't go anyway
You
or
what?
whatever. WWE's
You just made the list.
But yeah, dude, Dirt Sheet's really in the mud, and I don't even know if they're like the dirtiest of sheets, but they are just too miserable to really want to see WWE go down for whatever reason. But yeah, let's take a listen.
We did not go to Las Vegas. Why?
So I was planning going and had a hotel and travel plans booked, but it's WrestleMania and the ticket sales are very much in demand. So I figured the only way I was really going to go is if I was credentialed by WWE and attended the press conference. Hopefully, you never know. But you know, I realized that I hadn't received the credential application yet. And once I realized oh, we had not received press releases in quite some time, since about early February. And I followed up and tried to get the application and tried to attend as me.
I hate to laugh. I'm so sorry.
Emotional damage.
Oh shit! I don't even mean to laugh. I'm so sorry.
Media, and I got no response. So I figured. You know,
Oh my god, I'm dying over here. Oh my god. Holy shit. I gotta calm down. I'm so sorry. I got a show to do. Jesus Christ. I don't know why this is so funny to me. I'm so sorry, chat. Okay, let's go.
Credentialed by WWE and attended the press conference. Hopefully, you never know. But you know, I realized that I hadn't received the credential application yet. And once I realized oh, we had not received press releases in quite some time, since about early February. And I followed up and tried to get the application, tried to attend as media, and I got no response. So I figured, you know, they were not going to credential me, so I did not go.
I figured they weren't gonna credential me. They didn't credential you, bro. You didn't receive the shit, then you followed up, and then you're like, oh, I figured they weren't gonna, so I didn't go. No, they didn't, bro. And it's so funny because Pollock's like typing. He's like typing away, leaving a comment on his burner Reddit or something while Thurston's telling this story. Jesus Christ. Ah, man, that destroyed me.
It seems like WWE, you know, looking back on when we last got press releases, it looks like, you know, maybe something happened in early February, sometime just after Royal Rumble. Which is actually before.
It's like something happened in February, like maybe early Rumble. Stop coping. You are coping and seething. You cannot accept what you are seeing because you are coping so hard. Dude, don't cope about it, right? Like you... So wait, hold on. Yo, so this makes so much sense, right? All this happens. He doesn't go to Vegas. And then the week before Mania, Thurston's like angrily tweeting out like, Vince McMahon, Janelle Grant, no one's commenting on it, right? Like no one's talked about this, like gone over the history of like the last, starting at the Ring Boy scandal and going through everything, pretty much a 10 tweet thread of him being like, oh, they should be asked about this. So he was just sour grapes and bitter. He was literally just sitting there angry about WWE the week of. He's like, where's my thing?
I don't know.
And they're just cutting the sheets out. It's like, bro, you can't help yourself but to try and do all this political shit and make the wrestling shit political. You can't help but shit on their economics. You can't help but release this report or whatever, where you do some math and you're like, oh, look, they Netflix and WWE, Netflix is lying about WWE's numbers. They're lower. And then Awful Wrestling calls you out and goes, Well, this math actually just proves that they underreported like their debut or whatever. He said, then you delete your shit. Okay. It's that shit, bro. And it adds up over time. It's the same reason why I'm never getting a press pass for AEW. Okay. It ain't ever going to happen. It's the same reason. And except for, I would say, I at least am just cutting promos like, again, La Greca style. I'm just being passionate over here, brah. You're just over there like doing funky math. And I give you credit though. I do, like, at least you try and crunch the numbers. Like, people who do it and don't just, and they show their work on like BJ Bethel, I always give a couple, like, I'll give you some credit. That being said, you're a crybaby bitch and you were whining WrestleMania week and you post this shit and don't allow replies because you'll get owned. And now this video for some reason is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like, ever. I just died laughing there. And he's just mad he didn't get free tickets. So he's like, I bought a hotel and all this shit, expecting. So he was entitled. He bought all this shit being entitled to, oh, yeah, I need to be credentialed and, write this hotel room off and get it covered and blah, 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 blah. And that wasn't possible. So he's crying like a little bitch. And he writes a whole little every this happened and this happened and this happened. And what about Janelle Grant? Right before Mania and shit. What a little bitch, man. Oh, man. Awful the goat. Oh, what's up, Neckbeards? Awful as God. Yeah, dude. How about that? Like, how corny of them do you got to be when you're WrestleNomics and you're putting out all this shit and a guy named AEW Awful Wrestling calls your math out and you go, oh, shit. And gotta delete. Bro, that is like uncanny. So anyways, this is tremendous cope. We're like, we're not even a minute into this clip and it's just juicy. So let's listen to the rest of this. And we got a couple others. Thank you at Summix Error for hooking this up. Friend of the show.
I did the reports on WWE employee morale and WWE employee benefits that were cut and raises that were expected that didn't happen. So it wasn't even because of that was the last straw or if anything happened. So we debated whether even to bring this up. But I figured since
so they debated before they went on the air. They're talking, bro. Do we bring this up? No one cares. Nobody gives a shit. 270 views 9 hours ago, 4.89K subs. I'm not dunking on anyone, but no one would give a shit if I didn't. No one gave a that I didn't get tickets and I got 2K more subs than you. So let's be real here, Thurston. Jeepers. So moving along here.
Talked about it.
Should we talk about it, bro? I don't know. It really hurt our feelings. They feel singled out. It's like, no, it's you and all the shithead sheets, bro. Okay.
And since people might ask me why I'm not at press conferences, I wanted to make it clear that it's not by my choice.
Yeah, I will.
So they're unwelcome at WWE. They just reveal
I wanted
it.
To make it clear that it's not by my choice.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll state, and just to be clear, I know Elimination Chamber was here in Toronto, and people were like, why weren't you at Elimination Chamber? I had a vacation planned. I never even applied to go to Elimination Chamber, nor did I apply to go to WrestleMania.
They're coping so hard.
Either, so I haven't gone through, like, I have not been, turned down for anything. But I'm also, of the belief that, listen, I've been doing this like a ridiculous amount of time. I've gone through these things, in, out, whatever. Like it.
So here's the problem, right, with WrestleNomics. I'll just explain it. Pollock and Thurston, right? Because Pollock, I grew up watching you on the Fight Network. I really wish this WrestleNomics stuff didn't become a thing. No, it's fine. Listen, this is what it is, right? You guys are called WrestleNomics. And so your side gig or your side hustle or whatever you guys do here is to talk about the economics of wrestling, of puro wrestleru, right? And the problem is that the biggest economic juggernaut in pro wrestling, it's like you cry like bitches about and you seem like you want to take them down and you try and diminish their successes. It's just really gross and weird and obvious, right? And that's the problem. We're not saying you have to praise everything, but when they're doing their greatest economic boom in wrestling right now, and you're like crying about that, it seems weird. It seems like you'd want to do the opposite, and people that would tune into WrestleNomics would want to, it seems like they would want to hear at least some unbiased takes on the greatest wrestling economic boom. No? Like my shit's called Pro Wrestle Times. So you come here and you're going to sort of hear about what's topical and relevant in pro wrestling given the times. No, like don't win. Right? I think that's what we're going for here. So it seems like WrestleNomics, like it's not that you have to blow everything to death. And yes, talk about the Janelle stuff, but also like maybe, or like don't, unless it pertains to economics. So when it was like here, they hid 3 million, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's all great. Now that we're way past that and you're bringing it up because you're bitter that you didn't get a free ride this year at Mania. And this is what I'm talking about. My guy Alfred's like, man, apply. Like I'm just sitting here going, dude, the problem is that I also don't want people to think that shit would sway me. You can't be bitter if 1 year they give it to you, 1 year they don't, and then the next year they don't. You can't. He's just literally being a whiny bitch because he's like, well, for the last 10 years, I got it. I just booked my hotel without even. It's so cringy, bro. And so people who tune into WrestleNomics, they want to at least just hear like an unbiased analysis of like the economics, and probably you might want to celebrate and put over some of the greatest objective economics that the WWE, ergo by proxy the pro wrestling industry business has had in how long. And instead you're taking a company where it seems as though year over year their shit is going down, other than I guess they're going to make 14 million and some change this year. Good for them, finally. And let's say that's true, right? Shout out Switchblade for that. They have sort of trended the opposite direction, whereas and then so is Ring of Honor, so is New Japan. Stardom too took a bit of a hit there for a little while. I think they're bringing it back again, but I don't think they've been overly. Well, no, that's not true. I think Momo was involved with them, so yeah, maybe they are involved. But all I'm saying is that everybody involved with AEW for a while there was hurting or is hurting, and then everyone involved just in the indies and WWE, or just like not WWE, even just like the indies, like they are seeing a resurgence in business or like a boom or whatever. So I think it's crazy to not like point that aspect of it out instead, and then try and just like do this cope shit you guys do. I'm spending a lot of time on this. Let's move
really
on.
Does not affect either one of us in terms of like the day-to-day of like what we do. Like it's a pretty specific thing that we do. Personally, I think Brandon should be at these press conferences, even if I cannot. But it's also not the end of the day either, and is not going to really bear any issue for us beyond that.
We don't know if there's a specific reason. I assume that's
we've asked. Listen, we've reached, but it's also not the end of the day either, and is not going to really bear any issue for us beyond that.
We don't know if there's a specific reason. I assume that's
we've asked. Listen, we've reached out. It's not like we're just guessing here, but I mean, they can certainly clarify at any point to us. They have all of our information, and we've inquired. So it's like, again, I don't have like some smoking gun to say, hey, this is the reason why they wouldn't get back to Brandon or something like that. But anyway, but it's also not the end of the day either, and is not going to really bear any issue for us beyond that.
We don't know if there's a specific reason. I assume that's
we've asked. Listen, we've reached out. It's not like we're just guessing here, but I mean, they can certainly clarify at any point to us. They have.
Jesus Christ, man. These two chuckle. Bro, this is all you say. Ready? Yeah, they denied our shit for the first time ever. Yeah, I mean, we haven't covered them the most favorably. I'm sure it's any one of the things we've been talking about. And that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You got to take it on the chin. I had a hotel booked and shit. The tickets were so expensive. I'm used to getting that shit for free. So I was like, damn, I just couldn't spring it this year if they were, I just usually write that shit off. It's for work, I'm not balling like that right now, even though I cover the economics, so you just be honest, bro. What the people are so crazy.
All of our information, and we've inquired. So it's like, again, I don't have like some smoking gun to say, hey, this is the reason why they wouldn't get back to Brandon or something like that. But anyway, but it's also not the end of the day.
Yeah, not hating, but like more people are watching this shit right now than they have views 9 hours ago whenever this shit was posted. Not hating. Again, I know the grind, bro. But they've been at this shit way longer than me and are like reporting news, like actual factual, like, hey, we have a headline.
Like but anyway,
we're crying because we didn't get passes. I'm like, it would be sweet to get passes. That's a thing. Wait, you guys get free hotels? Is that a thing? Can I do that? I'll wear a wig and a mustache and pretend I work for Fightful or something. You know what I mean?
I didn't really want to talk about this, but I feel
sneaking Scooby-Doo style.
We owe you at least like that transparency, and
we owe you that transparency. Nobody cares. This is like if I came and was like, guys, I owe you the transparency of why I wasn't at Mania this year. What the?
Feel like we should put that out there. So,
and I do feel like people are naturally going to ask after I've not been to a press conference in quite some time why I haven't been. So, and we did discuss it previously.
Who is going to ask that you can't? I don't know, dude. I'm not trying to be a hater. I know what the grind is like. You guys know I try and link up with creators all the time. Since I've done this shit, who have equal to or less subs than I don't look at that. I look at people that I like, their approach to shit, or if I want to debate something or something, something cool. I'm not looking at like sub count or anything. So I'm not knocking them for that, but Jesus Christ, bro, you had 270 views. You're like, oh, people are going to ask. Was that like 20 comments? 15 comments? Why aren't you guys at Mania? What is anybody wondering that you guys are going to ask that wouldn't already be asked? Are you like the only people who would be worried about what you guys are going to ask is like the people who are like, are you going to ask about Janelle Grant? Are you going to ask about Janelle Grant? Are you going to ask about the grapes that happened in the company? You shouldn't be worried about those folks
on this program.
Yeah, and for that reason, like I totally did understand that point and want to put it out there. So on that note, I want to thank the Cubs fan for appearing on the show. Again, you can go follow.
They're so mad. Thurston's so mad because he doesn't get free manias anymore. Oh, they're the free manias. You don't know the free manias anymore. You don't hurt the baby feeling. Oh man.